On March 11th, 2019, Path of Exile announced a new stash tab to be added. Alright, so we put in this Q&A, and seems about time to probably answer it. A little surprise, a little fun time before the league starts. So let's get started. First question, is All For One maybe the best Peewee content there is right now, and I love it. I think the concept is brilliant. Setting an infinite goal, this is not a question. Firstly, do you think that GGG should balance the game more towards solo self-found, now that you've mainly played in this mode and can have a complete opinion about it? I do not think there needs to be much catering towards solo self-found. I think it's essentially fine as is. When you consider what my task is, doing the All For One series, it kind of changes the goalpost a little bit. But in general, I think solo self-found is generically quite balanced. I think the only thing is the vendors should be updated, because there's some orbs like regret orbs and blessed orbs that will stack up, you know, and even alchemies that stack up to the thousands, and you'll never be able to catch up to how many you have. It's just, there needs to be an outlet for them, and at the moment there just currently isn't. What change, addition would you make to the current game to give players a way to focus farm specific content? I think something they should do is just release the drop rate of items. Other games have this. I don't see how there's any harm or foul in knowing that when you do Shaper, there's only a 5% chance you're going to get a Star Forge. I think that would be a good idea. Alternatively, I think they should also do something that Diablo 2 had, which was just certain bosses in the game have a higher chance of dropping set uniques. For example, the goat boss in like Abrath. Like every time you kill Abrath, he has like a 1% chance to drop Abrath hooves. Something like that is really not impactful to the game, I think, in general. It might, yeah, it's going to deflate the price of certain uniques, but like, if you really want to sit there and target farm Abraths, I don't see how it's any different than you target farming any boss or farming Onigoroshi for Divine Orbs. Like, it's the same type of thing. So I think they should institute something like that, where you could farm Act bosses for 1% chance drop, but specific uniques that thematically make sense, i.e. Abrath hooves dropping from Abrath. Also, every league introduces new uniques that almost disappear after its inclusion into the core game. Have you thought of not counting these uniques or something that the collection doesn't look complete for you? Blah, 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 blah. So basically that just means delve rings. Yeah, so there's some uniques that are just, you know, borderline unobtainable. In the general scheme of things, I need roughly 60 to 80 delve rings to be able to complete them, assuming I don't get, you know, triples and quadruples of certain rings. And I have one. So yes and no, but I think that they're going to change down the road maybe how you obtain some uniques. There's some uniques that some things introduced, like Synthesis League, that I've actually like really made like noticeably great progress. Same with Bestiary. You know, there's a lot of leagues that do introduce that are super great. There's more that are easy to obtain than not. So the ones like Delve, like the Incursion upgrade uniques, those do stand out. Do you think you can eat 5 burgers in 1 minute and a half before 3-point league starts? 3-point. No, I am not gonna eat 5 burgers. I will have 1 burger every hour on the hour. How about that? Do you think that there will be a time in the series when it will be beneficial to skip playing the active league in favor of playing Wind Ripper in standard full time? No, because I am almost complete with all the base uniques as is. So unless I'm target farming something like, I don't know, like Lighthouse for the Red Blade Ring, then that's where Wind Ripper is going to shine. But that's the only reason I made the Wind Ripper character is to farm like low level content with specific uniques. But I'll never take precedent over leagues, because leagues almost always introduce a way of obtaining larger scale and harder to acquire uniques. For example, Legion League, you know, shout out league exclusives. Blight League, shout out stack decks. Stack decks equals league exclusives. So it's just, there's always going to be a better method in league. Not to mention I do have to acquire every unique that comes out in that league. When are the hentai jokes coming back? Hentai jokes will be back eventually. You'll see. Don't worry. I have plans. I honestly believe All For One is one of the, if not the best Peewee series ever created. Really hope you don't burn out on it. Will not burn out. How exactly do you avoid Peewee burnout? Great question. Have you ever been burnout? If not, how do you do damn thing? I would say that the reason I don't burn out is because I limit my playtime to a couple hours a day. And when I do, I often have extremely lofty goals. So any sort of minor progress I make is a pretty big impact, and I feel that impact. I get that, you know, that endorphin rush. So I think that in itself is a method of, you know, taking breaks, pacing yourself, setting goals, setting obtainable goals, like micro goals to even larger goals. That's the best way to do it. Only time I've ever been burnt out is when I died in Talisman League on ladder and hardcore. Bad day. Bad times. What is the most valuable item you own in PoE? Period. I have, what do I have? I have a 6-link blue Alt Art Edge of Madness. I like that one. Aside from that, I guess it's the Golden Mantle or like the tab full of alt art or Vorexes. Something like that. Are any of your friends insane enough to do the all for one but for one copy of every divination card? That content makes my PP hard. No, but I think in general, that series would be extremely easier than what I'm doing. One of every div card is not that hard to obtain. There's only like a couple div cards that are like really that rare. There's like maybe 10, but for the most part, div cards are quite easy to obtain, even the one-ofs. Have you thought of your league start for 3.9? I have, and I'm going to be playing what I've pretty much been talking about the whole time on stream in the past week. I'm playing a Raider bow build. What specific bow build? I think I'm probably going to start Scourge Arrow and maybe transform into Split Arrow because I want to do something that's going to really utilize the new, you know, whatever, fucking support gem pluses, whatever they're called, Awaken gems. So I want to use Awaken gems, so what bow build will use the most of those and really capitalize on that, like something that even uses like GMP, fork, and then an added damage to really just push it forward. What do you think is going to be the hardest unique to get? It's probably going to be Eyes of the Great Wolf, unless that just magically drops off of something, simply because it requires 16 div cards, and they'd have to basically introduce Rigwald back into the game to make it obtainable in traditional methods. Outside of that, it's a total fucking crapshoot. Does your vast understanding of the game mechanics ever ruin the experience for you? Does the game ever still feel new and exciting to you? It does not ruin the experience for me, and it still feels new and exciting. Like, even if I get duplicate drops of something that's rare, I still get exciting. Case in point, the back-to-back Skyforce, second Skyforce, literally means nothing for me for the series. It could never have happened, but just, I still shit my pants every time I see those 1 in a million drops. Oh my god, yes! Oh my god! How do you think the new socket system Peewee 2 will affect the power creep? I don't really understand how the socket system works. I didn't really look into it. I just know that basically you're going to be able to like socket more gems, and the gems, everything's socketed, not on like, it's like on a character page, not on the actual weapon, so I don't really know how much it's going to affect it. We'll just have to wait and see. Peewee 2 is like 2 years away, so it's whatever. How much playtime do you invest into a single video? Probably close to a week and a half to 2 weeks, actual hours, maybe like 20 to 30 in like a 10-minute video. It's kind of crazy. So it's like maybe like 20 to 30 hours for like each video. Give or take. What direction are you going to take the series? Like make the winner of a character starting to delve more. I really won't consider heavy standard farming in tandem with playing the league until I have like a lot more uniques. So I still don't have all the base uniques unlocked. When I have all the base uniques unlocked, then I'll start to consider target farming specific league exclusives in standard. But for now, I'm just going to keep playing until I see that Void Battery, you know, until I see that Mjolnir drop, until I see that Impulses, Tidebringer, Kataba's Feast. There's actually a few. Just doing Winter sounds so vanilla to me. It's just my opinion, but I believe League is a better way to retain attention, not a question. Do you think Soul Sapphire is a better ground for learning about the mechanics of Peewee? Hell yes. Do you feel about Blight as a whole? Do you think the integration center is good? I think the integration is good. I think the integration is a better league idea than the league itself, and they should have made it so it automatically dropped an oil or a map every Blight. That was dumb. Bad idea. What are your hopes come Peewee 2? Devson mentions another campaign, but my worry is that people will continue with Peewee 1's campaign for character creation for the sake of time efficiency. Maybe it's a non-problem. I think ultimately, after the first month, people will choose whatever campaign 1 or 2 is quicker. I will have to do, I assume, multiple campaigns in Peewee 2, because I imagine they probably release jewels, unique jewels the same way that Peewee's 1 campaign has. So Peewee 1 has 9 unique jewels. You pick 3 at each point in the game. So I'll have to at least level like 9 times if it's the same, because I have to get 1 of each unique jewel, 1 of each leveling threshold, like all those things I still have to get 1 of. So unless they drop naturally, I'm going to have to obtain them from whatever unique quest rewards are, you know, there in Peewee 2. Do you plan to stick with the challenge leagues or from time to time go into standard? Pretty much always doing the challenge leagues. Elder Shaper, Uber Zeri, all that stuff, all those Delve uniques. I'll get them in challenge leagues for the first like 5 years, or not 5 years, maybe like 5 challenge leagues, so 2 years. I'll probably just do challenge leagues, and then we can discuss it down the road, like I said, if we get all the base uniques. But for now, it's like Metamorph. And then like whatever 3 leagues are next, I'll probably be just focusing heavily on the leagues. How many uniques exist that we can't get? Probably just every demigod, all the altars, any legacy uniques. So maybe like 20 to 30. Is there a plan for you to go full-time for YouTube streaming since you're set up in your new house now? If so, what are your plans for channel growth on both here and Twitch? I don't know if you're a homeowner or an adult, but to go full-time streaming in the US in the Northeast, I have to be making roughly $2,000 to $3,000 a month to support myself and my home. If I'm not making between $2,000 and $3,000 a month, I cannot be streaming full time. I am not making close to that. It's extremely difficult to be making close to that. So yeah, no way I'll be streaming full time unless I'm at that level. And for channel growth, I don't do anything. If you guys have any specific suggestions, go free, but I just do my thing, and then whatever happens, happens. Siege Ballista build. Will you try it near the start of the league? Nope. Will you wait to see how it is? Sure. What happens when you fill the unique tab? We throw a massive party. I post my address online, everyone comes to my house, and we start life anew. Do you think there'll be a time before 4.0 where you're caught up with uniques? Hell no. What is your favorite div card based on art alone? I really do like the art for Hailheart. I think that's probably my favorite div card art. Love the series. Thank you for doing it. Would you consider doing a general guide and focused guide at some point what you've learned and how to go about farming for the uniques? For example, delve uniques and just delve and hope for RNG, for incursion uniques. So the things like, I try to explain while I'm doing it, most of them. If I haven't explained it, it's because I don't think there's any real great method yet. Like for the delve rings, you're just kind of going to go down to like 315 depth and go left to right as far as you can and hope to see as many bosses as possible. I'm really hoping they just revamp delve and incursion in the next 2 to 3 years and make it easier for me to get my uniques. That's my, when you have to consider the fact that this series is like a 7-year to 8-year project or whatever it's going to be. So when you're thinking long term, I have to think about things like that, where it's like, all right, is it really time efficient for me to farm, go hard on delve rings now, when there's a high chance that they're going to make it easier to obtain these fucking rings later on? Blight was a very special league for me because I got married during it. My husband and I are unable to conceive a child on our own, mostly due to him being a literal potted plant. His name is George, and he's an aloe vera. We are deeply in love. We would be honored to have you as our surrogate mother. Do you accept? I do accept. Attempting unique completion solo self and myself, and was wondering what your thoughts are about us not being able to target farm maps as he's in 3.9. I don't really worry about those things. In general, that's like, I would say it's like short-sighted because we don't know the benefits of 3.9 fully if you're going for an all-for-one series. Like, if you're doing the same thing I'm doing, yes, it might close some doors, not being able to target farm specific maps, but you don't know how many other doors are opening. You had to guess, without the next league items, what current item do you think would be the last acquisition? What is today the hardest to acquire unique and solo self-found? And before one of the 200 unique ring bulls. It's not a delve ring. I still think it's Eyes of the Great Wolf, probably. Oh, there you go. Do you see Eyes of the Great Wolf as the most threatening unique right now? Yes. What do you think about the explosive arrow changes? Don't really think about it. If it's not something I think I'm going to play, I don't really look into it too much, but I liked how explosive arrow was back in the day, so it's not that makes me sad. Start of the series, did you have a ballpark of how long it would take? Are you progressing faster than you thought? I had a ballpark of like 7 years. That was what I thought it was going to take, give it like, just to be caught up at one point. And am I progressing faster? I don't think I'm progressing faster. I just think I've gotten certain uniques I didn't think I'd get at this point. For example, Headhunter. I didn't think I'd get Headhunter in the first 3 months of playing. Pleasant surprise. I think I'll obtain multiple Headhunters by the time I'm done with the series. But yeah, it was like, that's just some things you don't expect to see. Do you think there'll be a strong possibility that we will be able to use more auras when Peewee 2 hits? What other ascendancy changes you foresee for the existing one? I like the idea of more ascendancy changes. I just think they have to make them more niche, but also not like 100%. So what I mean by that is, like, I don't like the fact that if I'm playing a Trapper Miner, I'm playing a Saboteur 99% of the times. I wish I had more options. Maybe I'll play a Deadeye if I'm playing a range attack Trapper, so there's more integration there. But there's just like some things like that I feel are a little too on the nose, if you will. As far as aura changes, I don't really mind seeing more auras. I like when there's a lot of auras. I think it just looks cool, but I think 3 to 4 is about where you should be in general. So anything past that, it's getting a little bit silly. How is the goal of every unique in the game achievable if GGG adds new uniques every league? Ain't it an infinite chase? In the essence, it is an infinite chase, but there will be a point in time where I'm caught up. And then when we get to that point, I think it'll be a really healthy thing for the series, because then I could focus solely on playing the leagues whenever they come out. I don't know when that point of time is going to be, but I don't think it's, crazy far away. Maybe like 3 to 4 years away, depending on how they tweak the delve things. The delve and incursion are the only really things that make me super worried. Hey Lighty, love your content. Do you have any future plan for your hardcore solo self-found series? I do not. I don't think I'll ever return to hardcore unless for some reason I was streaming and YouTubing full time, which I don't think is going to happen in my future. Yeah, it's just I don't have time to play hardcore, especially when their game and their client is not the most stable thing. Honestly, you produce some of my favorite Peewee content, and I burned out mid 3.6. Stay strong. Why not both? You could do a no BS synopsis video or whatever. Keep it up, man. Yeah, I feel like most of the questions people were going to ask me are things I would have to say about the whole, 3.9, 4.0 announcement. I would answer in this video, and I think I essentially have. When you get all the uniques that come out with the league, will you continue to on that league or hop on your unripped character in standard, depending on how good the league mechanics are for loot? I'm always going to be playing the league. There's no scenario where I'm not be playing the league. I still think the league will really almost always have the mechanic in such a higher quantity that it'll be more beneficial for obtaining other unique. And with that, we wrap up. That was our final question. I will see you guys in stream in a couple hours for the league launch. Should be exciting times. I'll be playing pretty much until I pass out, so should be fun. I'm Matt Lighty. Hope you have enjoyed the questions, the cute little Q&A, little fun time, and I will see you guys on stream. Bye-bye. First person to join the channel when I join gets to do whatever they want for this outro. That is the rule. So let us see. Who will it be? Oh my god, I've been waiting here for all of 10 minutes and I'm already fucking bored. I need to recruit somebody. Oh, there we go. Okay, alright, you've been chosen. Let's go. I need you to I spent all night watching anime and I didn't have any idea for an outro for this video, so I need you to do something.
Do something.
Yeah, anything. You got like a minute.
A minute.
Figure it out.
Do anything?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter.
A lot of work.
Just come on, anything.
Come on and slam.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. What do you what do you got in mind?
I don't know.
Figure it out.
I didn't sign up for this.
I know you didn't sign up for this, but neither did the Jews in the war. So let's go.
You gonna just put me on the spot like this?
I'll put you in the camp if you don't keep it up.
All right.
Sing a song or something.
No.
Yes.
All right.
Is this it?
A little bit. I haven't had enough alcohol.
You have a problem. I'm leaving.
All right.
What?
I'll never tell.
Oh my god.